Hello, everybody. It is Wednesdays with Chasey Poo here on Transtastic, and I am in Zusha's New York house apartment thing, and it's kind of messy, and I'm on like a blow-up mattress because, as you recall, one time I made a video in the kitchen, and there's like a turtle thing, and a turtle cage thing, tank, and the water sounds like someone's peeing, so let's just not do that. Oh, look, there's like a menu up there. This week's topic is name changes and gender changes. I want me new to stay here with me. So it's how to change your name and your gender. So I live in Montreal, Quebec, and I actually made a video in detail on how to change your name. I made one in French and in English, and I'm going to link it down there where Minu is looking, and you'll be able to find out how to change your name if you live in Quebec, which is a very fucking daunting and long process, and it costs a lot of money, and it's bullshit. Lucky for us, the law has just changed to how to change your gender marker, which is great because I went through all these fucking hoops. But you no longer need surgical requirements to change your gender marker in Quebec, which is great. I don't know if the law has taken effect like right away, but it was just passed. So that's some very great news for a lot of people. Although I still think that people shouldn't have to be on hormones. But I mean, you still have to prove that you're trans with all these doctor's letters, which sucks, but what are we going to do? I really think that the government needs to understand how important name changes and gender changes are for individuals, because it's like an issue of safety. Like, Minu is sitting on my computer right now, and it's making me tilted, but that's okay, she's cute. It's an issue of safety, honestly. If you have, like, your name is not... Minu is attacking me. If your name is not... I'm scared, she's giving me the death look. Go away, I'm scared. If you go to a place and your gender is not legally changed on your documents and your name either, honestly, it's like a very big cause of anxiety. I've had to deal with it many times, and there's so many people who are not able to just change their papers, and it hurts, honestly. And I'm going to tell you basically how you can deal with it if it's not changed. I know that this topic is like how to change and issues and stuff like that, but I've talked about that on my personal channel. And honestly, not that many people live in Quebec who watch this, so if you do live in Quebec and you want to watch those videos, they're there. But I'm going to talk about how to deal with your cards and your identity if your cards and identity on paper and in the government are changed. Let's say you go to a club or a bar. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a lot of anxiety that your name and your gender aren't changed, from personal experience, I have never been questioned about it. They look at the picture, they look at me, they look at the date, it says that I'm over 18 because I live in Quebec, or over 21 if you live in America, and that's fine. Honestly, I'm talking as like a white person living in Montreal. I mean, I've gone to bars in like Toronto and Ontario before, and it's the same thing without any of my things change, even my name. Nobody asks questions. Even if I go to like straight bars, because I usually tend to hang around the gay clubs in the Village and stuff like that usually. But a lot of straight clubs I go to because some of my friends just really like those places, and that's fine. And so I just show them my ID before I had anything changed, and it was fine. So I want you guys to just understand that you will have anxiety when you show your ID, when you go to clubs or when you go buy alcohol or anything like that, but they don't care. And if they ever question you about it, you just tell them if you pass, like I do, they just fucked up. Like, you just make it like, I don't even understand why they did that. Or you just play it off like, oh yeah, my name hasn't been legally changed. Or play it off like your parents gave you a female name and you have no idea why. They thought it was funny and you're in the process of changing it, and then they'll have a fucking chuckle with you and then they'll like bro you or something. Honestly, airports is a different issue. We've talked about that on this channel. I've never had an issue ever. To be completely honest, one time I went to California and we took... on the way back home at the airport, I give the guy my passport in America, and he looks at it, and it has like my female name on it, and my gender wasn't changed, obvi, and he looks at me, and I have like, you know, I kind of look like this. I was Looked a little more feminine back then. And he looks at it, he looks at the names like, okay, okay. And then he, with the female name, he makes a nickname out of it, and he starts, like, talking to me with that nickname and, like, singing a song about it. And I'm like, oh my god, do you not hear my voice? This is so funny. That was a funny experience. It sucks that they obviously used my female name, but there was no other name. Like, they didn't know. But I thought it was funny that, like, I'm clearly male, but you're making, like, a female nickname out of my name. I just thought it was funny. Some people might think that's offensive and go all like, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. The only time I've ever been stopped and questioned about my ID, I'm gonna tell you right now, since this video is being way too long, is at the border, at the Canadian border. Okay. I always take the bus down to New York to go to the city. I never get questioned at the border about anything on my gender, my name, anything like that. The one time, though, I come back into Canada at the border, the Canadian border, to come back into my country with a Canadian passport. They look at my papers, they're like, we have a problem. And I was like, what the fuck is gonna happen? And they, like, pull me aside, and then they look at my documents like, so the passport that you're giving us does not match who you are. And I'm like, yes, it does. And then I pull out my tea letter, my prescription for my tea. I give them all of my IDs. It was extremely humiliating for me to have to do that. And honestly, I think it's bullshit that I had to do that. But after I showed them my ID and I told them my whole fucking life story that I'm a brave tran, they were like, oh my god, we're so sorry, here's all your papers, you can go, have a great day. So they apologized, they were nice about it, but they did ask me some really inappropriate questions like, oh, when are you gonna get your name changed? Oh, when are you gonna have the surgery? Like, what is even the surgery, really? That was like 3 years ago. We don't think about that anymore, and it's fine, but it's just a little example that in my life, as who I appear to be, I've only been really stopped once, and it's just been at like an international, like, Canadian-America border. And it was coming back into my country. But other than that, I've never had any other problems at all. So I really hope I helped some of your anxiety. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Go check out my videos on my personal channel if you live in Montreal, Quebec, if you want to change your name or your gender marker. I have some more information about that, as well as if you are a brave tran. And I say tran as a joke. It's like, you transgenders are so brave. Oh, I have never met a tran before. It's that. It's the same. It's just a satire joke thing. I have a group on Facebook called #BraveTran. If you want to be added to it, just message me on Facebook. Alright, have a great week.